Welcome back, friends. It's been a while since I've shared a full day of eating, and since my family just got back from a nice long vacation, I thought I would actually share an entire week's worth of low-carb eating in Hawaii. Today I'm sharing everything I packed to take along with me, how I prepared, food I bought in Hawaii, and then snippets of all of my meals and how they were structured. I had actually intended on going more paleo this trip because I wanted to enjoy all that fresh fruit, but ultimately ended up sticking to keto nearly the entire time. We were there for 8 days, got lots of beach and pool time, went to our customary Hawaiian luau, hiked, saw amazing sunsets, visited waterfalls, went snorkeling, saw dolphins and whales, and we also went ziplining. Before I get into what I ate, I wanted to share everything I packed and brought along for the trip. The main things I knew I would need for keto were going to be my fat sources, and fortunately there are so many options available that make traveling a breeze. I can't tell you what a lifesaver these things are. I'll have everything linked in the description box down below. The main fats I use to put in my decaf coffee and teas are this ghee, coconut oil from Trader Joe's. I also brought MCT oils like this Brain Brew, Bulletproof Brain Octane, and this coconut oil and ghee blend from Kalapo is a new one for me, but I really loved it. I also made sure to bring my favorite nut butter from Perfect Keto and also some packets of pecan butter. Then I also brought along some of my favorite seasoning mix. I've shared this tahini chili lime stuff before. And then some coconut aminos to replace any soy sauce that I might need. For electrolytes, I brought these Ultima water enhancers and then just some magnesium packets. So I normally stick to veggies for snacks, but also wanted a couple of options for on-the-go eating. I brought some of these D's Naturals bars, not the greatest tasting, but good in a pinch. And then these beef sticks from Paleo Valley, which are so amazing. I love these things. I also brought some keto-friendly sweeteners because I knew my husband was going to bake for me. So I brought along this Pure and my liquid stevia from Trader Joe's. Next up, I have some storage containers. If you've seen any of my other full day of eating videos, these are going to look familiar. This makes eating on the go so easy and great. They are wonderful to carry veggies, powders, salad dressings, and sauces. I literally use these every single time I eat out. Because I didn't want to pack my entire kitchen, but I also wanted to have some staples with me, I made a handful of batches of my keto bread and then just stored them in these little containers. I'll link to that video up above right now for you. But it's super easy to put together the dry ingredients. Just a tablespoon of ground up chia seeds, half a tablespoon of flax meal, half a tablespoon of coconut flour, and then a 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. Then when you're ready to make your bread, you only have to add 1 whole egg, 3 tablespoons of liquid, and then microwave on high for 2 minutes and 30 seconds. All of the containers and travel packs got put into large Ziploc bags, packed in our suitcases, and we were off to Hawaii. I know it may seem like a lot to bring, but I can't tell you how much easier staying on track is when you are prepared. As far as our travel day there goes, I actually planned on fasting the entire time. The flight is 6 hours, and since we were leaving in the morning, I would have been fasted anyways. I do an assisted type of fast, so I only have fats like MCT oil, butter, and ghee until my first meal. So decaf coffee, Perfect Keto chocolate MCT oil powder, and some Bulletproof Brain Octane. This was put into an empty bottle, and then I use this handy dandy frother. Total necessity, it is a keto staple. I had already drank my 40 ounces of water before even getting on the plane, so sipped on this fatty decaf coffee while I worked. The family watched movies and ate these disgusting breakfast bowls because they were starving. A perk to being keto is not being hungry and having the metabolic flexibility to use fat as fuel and to stay satiated. Keto is amazing in this respect because you never get hangry, you can go so much longer between meals, and you just don't think about food as often. Once we landed, the first stop we made was to Whole Foods just because we would be limited in the markets near the resort. I grabbed my other eating staples I knew I couldn't find anywhere else on the island. I grabbed some mineral water, my soy-free eggs. I grabbed some dairy-free cheese from Kite Hill and Treeline. I also grabbed these kelp noodles in case we made pasta at home. I didn't bring probiotics with me, so I grabbed one of these gut shots from Farmhouse Culture. I also grabbed some raw coconut butter, apple cider vinegar, some soy-free mayonnaise from Sir Kensington's. I also grabbed a few cans of tuna for on-the-go protein. I grabbed some Kerrygold butter, a few cans of full-fat coconut milk. I also grabbed some ghee or clarified butter, and then some soy-free dark chocolate. Since our house wasn't ready yet, the next stop we made was to a farmer's market for some local produce. I could have grabbed this stuff at Whole Foods, but really love the quality and price going local. This was mainly stuff for salad, so I grabbed mushrooms, lemons, broccoli, some bell peppers. I grabbed cucumbers, yellow onion, red onion, shallots, and then of course avocados. I think I grabbed at least 6 or 7 of these because they are a staple in my diet. I eat at least one a day. I cannot get enough. Then I also grabbed some cabbage, some asparagus, and of course a bunch of different greens like kale, mustard greens, and spinach. Now, you've probably already thought to yourself during this video, how in the heck are you going to store all of this food and everything you brought into one small hotel room? Well, we actually stopped staying in standard hotel rooms a few years ago. Instead, we always opt for a timeshare style condo or townhouse just because it feels so much more like home and it has so much more room. Washer and dryer for my crazy laundry bandit husband, and then of course a full kitchen. This makes absolutely the biggest difference with traveling and staying on track with your way of eating. Not only do you have the convenience of the stove, oven, and fridge, but it's actually a huge money saver because you aren't eating out 3+ times a day. For relatively the same price as a tiny hotel room, you get so much more. I mean, really, check out this master bathroom. So if you haven't already jumped on the townhouse condo rental action, definitely check them out the next time you travel. It will absolutely change how you vacation. And now let's get to the food. After practicing intermittent fasting the past 4 years, I actually stopped it here in Hawaii so that I could enjoy eating breakfast with the family. And it ended up working out great because of the time difference and being 3 hours ahead from San Diego anyways. So this is what a typical breakfast looked like if we were eating at the townhouse. Every morning started with 40 ounces of herbal tea. Then for breakfast, I made one of my keto breads using the mixes I brought. I'd fry up some bacon and then cook some chopped up veggies in leftover bacon grease. I added a few of my eggs, and again, if you're new to my channel or wonder why I avoid soy so much, it's because I have a huge intolerance to it. It's also the reason why I make and bring my own salad dressings when we eat out. With the eggs, veggies, and bacon made, I went ahead and made a fatty decaf coffee with some full-fat coconut milk, perfect keto chocolate MCT oil powder, some bulletproof brain octane, a little bit of stevia, and this got blended. And this was a very typical keto breakfast served at the townhouse. Some days we took in the gorgeous views that Hawaii has to offer, got some fresh air into our systems first thing in the morning, and took a nice long walk to the local store in Kapalua. Eating breakfast here is a family tradition, and we do it at least 2 to 3 times during our stays here. The store is more of a market with basically everything you might need, including a full-service kitchen with a huge variety of food and meals. While the husband waited for the food we ordered, I grabbed my decaf coffee and put together my morning cup. On this particular morning, the blend consisted of one of the travel packs of vanilla ghee, a scoop of perfect keto chocolate MCT oil powder, a little bit of stevia, and then this got blended up with my portable frother. Again, I love this thing. I also brought along the keto bread I made before leaving the house that morning and a jar of my favorite nut butter from Perfect Keto. On this particular morning, I went with an omelet filled with bacon, veggies, and a side of spinach. I really enjoyed eating breakfast with the family. It had been quite some time since I've done this because I'm normally still fasted when they eat breakfast. I ended up getting even more benefits than I expected, so I stopped IF even when we got back from Hawaii. I'm going to be doing a video on that very soon, so stay tuned. On one of the mornings in Hawaii, we went to a huge buffet at another resort. I brought along everything I would need for my morning decaf, and then I started with a big salad. I had some kalua pork with a fried egg on top. I got some fresh crab that I dipped in melted butter and added a little bit of lemon, and then had some of that amazing fresh Hawaiian fruit. 100% not keto, but again, I had gone into this vacation planning on eating fruit, so I ate it. I actually only ended up eating a few bites of this because I was already so full from all the food I had already eaten. Lunches in Hawaii were usually the same, a giant salad with homemade dressing. Again, that soy allergy that I have is very real, so purchased bottled dressings are always an absolute no for me. It's also so much healthier and so easy just to make your own anyways. I love the fact that I can get local sashimi grade ahi at any regular market in Hawaii, literally caught fresh that morning. So this was my protein of choice for salads on most days. Other days I used the canned tuna that I had bought from Whole Foods, mixed it with some mashed avocado, a tablespoon of mayo, my tahini, chili lime seasoning, and a bunch of fresh lemon juice. We were normally out and about for lunch, so my salads got packed in my Fitmark bag with some snacks and sandwiches for my husband and daughter. This bag always comes with me anytime I'm away from the house for more than a few hours. I can't express how much I love everything that I eat, and I'm also guaranteed to not feel like crap after my meals. On the day we went snorkeling, I just packed up everything I would need into my Fitmark bag. After I drank my 40 ounces of herbal tea, I whipped up my decaf coffee that I brought with me. The boat staff served a continental breakfast, which included bagels, muffins, granola bars, cookies, and fruit. I prepped and brought some eggs, veggies, and bacon. I also made a serving of my keto bread and brought the same perfect keto nut butter with me, as well as some Kite Hill non-dairy cream cheese. After snorkeling, we ended up seeing a ton of dolphins and even a few whales. Hawaii is literally magical everywhere you look. For lunch on the boat, while everyone else had food I wasn't going to be able to eat, like potato salad using a soy-based mayo and teriyaki chicken sandwiches with a soy marinade, I enjoyed a tuna salad with fresh mashed avocado and lime juice and tahini. I actually had a few people come up to me and say how great my salad was and that they wished they were eating it too. 6 out of 8 dinners in Hawaii were eaten at restaurants. My go-to option is almost always a burger. I could eat them every single day, no problem. So before we left for dinner, I whipped up some of my Thousand Island dressing. Recipe and video for this is going to be linked up above and down below. A quick salad dressing. I also packed some sugar-free barbecue sauce that I bought at the store, some ghee in case I got any steamed veggies, and everything got packed into my little eating out kit. The best low-carb, keto-friendly options at restaurants are always going to be burgers, salads, and grilled fish or other protein with a side of veggies and melted butter. Those definitely make up nearly almost all of my meals I eat away from home. Then with my sauces, dressing, and clarified butter, I'm all set to go for a healthy meal at any restaurant. On one of the nights, we went to our customary Hawaiian luau at the Hyatt. This was the one meal I had intended on completely going off keto because I had planned on having white rice and, of course, the fruit. Unfortunately, the only rice they had was fried rice, which had soy sauce in it, so that was a no for me. They had a ton of other options for dinner, but nothing that I really felt like I had to have or was truly craving, so this was another meal that ended up being more keto-based than I had originally intended. I ended up going with some salad, some kalua pork, a small piece of mahi-mahi fish, some mixed vegetables, some sauteed local greens, and only a few pieces of fruit. And because I knew that their dinner rolls did have gluten in it, I went ahead and brought another piece of my keto bread that I made before we left for the luau. My go-to snacks, whether I'm traveling or not, are usually just veggies. Here in Hawaii, I packed up some cut bell peppers, cucumbers, and celery to take along with me. I'm also a sucker for an avocado. I usually carried around one of the Paleo Valley beef sticks in my purse as well. Another thing I brought for the trip were these raw veggie wraps. These are fantastic for super healthy on-the-go eating and work great as a replacement for tortillas. For drinks, I stuck with lemon water, the Ultima electrolytes, and Zevia. And last, for my desserts for the week, my husband made me a batch of my flourless keto fudge cookies. And since we were celebrating my birthday on this trip, he also made my birthday cake using my lemon loaf cake recipe. And there you have it, an entire week's worth of low-carb eating in Hawaii. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Until next time.